This Super Bowl 2023 Futures Edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. WynnBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBet has what you need to win. Time today, bet 100, get 100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Start your engines with Rod and Cody and get ready to gamble on the Daytona 500 this Sunday. Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
I have to imagine everyone is wondering, are you okay? Did something happen to the arm? We're in Vegas, and you gave a pitchers and catchers reporting type throw, not a World Series. You didn't cock it back. You didn't drop the arm down.
Well, see, the mic arm, again, we're in the BlueWire studio, live here from the beautiful Wynn in Las Vegas. And normally I'm throwing my arm more, but, we got the mic arm here, so it's all good to go.
Understood.
Brian, we are joined.
Yes.
We got a special guest here. We're going to be talking 2023 Super Bowl futures. Never too early to look at the card. Kind of just an early look, see what we're leaning, see where we're going. But joining us here from Fox Sports Radio, Mr. Jared Smith. What's happening, Jared?
This is a big throw for me, guys. And also, you don't want to break anything in the Blue Wire. So you got to be very careful not to, you want to keep your arms and legs inside the tray tables upright and locked positions at all time. But I'm thrilled to be here, guys.
Now, how was your NFL season overall? Any highlights for you, picks wise? Like, what did you really enjoy from the 2022 NFL season?
I think the parity was just, every
except
week.
For the Texans,
except for the and the Bears, and also just what we're going to see in the free agent market is going to be fascinating.
Okay.
I can't recall an offseason where there was so much quarterback uncertainty. So just seeing all the parity play out the way that it did, and of course, we get the one seeds in the Super Bowl, so screw the parity, right?
Lame.
Yeah, no, it felt like the regular season was super wild, and then it went super chalky with the Chiefs.
Well,
according to Travis Kelce, though, no one believed in them. They weren't even. They were minus 240 to make the playoffs.
You were doing the same thing as the one seed in the NFC. Stop it.
Yeah, but we actually
unlike masks.
Yeah, unlike the Kansas City Chiefs, we actually did have haters and doubters. I mean, come on, Travis Kelce leaning into that is just the
Kelce. The Kelce brothers are they've stolen my hearts and minds.
Yes, and
I want to be indoctrinated into that family.
Seeing the mom out there, that was.
Who wins in an Oklahoma drill, Sean or Donna Kelce?
Ooh. Donna's got a low center of gravity. I don't know.
I mean, those genes that birth two Hall of Famers. I don't want to. I'm happy to call out some people, but I'm not putting Donna Kelce on the list. She's going to destroy me. All right, what do we got here? Of course. Oh, listen to that noise right around the corner. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WynnBet. The Super Bowl is going to be in Las Vegas coming up this year. We're going to give our early take on the futures market, but of course, SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WynnBet. Bet 100, get 100. Head over there today. College basketball alive and well. NBA All-Star Game. We're going to be talking about that later with Terrell from the NBA Gambling Podcast. And, of course, the Daytona 500. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WynnBet. Bet big. Win bigger. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. 21 or older in President's Day. Where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you're somebody who has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
And Jared mentioned the quarterback churn this offseason.
It's going to be awesome.
Walking around Vegas, seeing all of the memorabilia shops with Derek Carr Raiders stuff, and it's just like, oh, clearance rack. Let's move that.
Aaron Rodgers in Vegas.
Oh.
I don't know how you could even is there a place you can go for a 4-day blackout in Vegas? I don't even know. There's too many lights.
I've had a 4-day blackout in Vegas, but I was actually seeing lights for small amounts of time.
Darkness retreat does. I mean, you could accomplish it in Vegas. So I feel like if he does want to cut down his off-season travel budget.
Go to the desert, right?
Exactly. Or they say
build a little bungalow or something.
You go out there, you bring some water, and you learn things about yourself.
The desert is the place to do ayahuasca. And yeah, I did feel like I've actually, quietly, Vegas is with the hotel rooms with like the automatic drapes and curtains.
Oh yeah,
you can really have a darkness retreat.
And just so we're clear, Sean is a verified expert on the topic. Recently seen on Dr. Phil.
Well,
so
yes.
medical expert.
If you're watching it live, youtube.com/sportsgambling podcast. My Dr. Phil appearance is airing.
Is this true?
Yes. Today, Friday.
That's awesome.
3 p.m. Local markets. Again, check your local markets for when Dr. Phil airs, but we'll see what they included because I did. At one point, he was asking about problem gambling, and I suggested the solution being subscribing to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Well, so I don't know if they're going to keep that part in.
And shout out to the chat, ZD Mills saying he must have already seen it, so he loves the part where you called yourself stacking the money green. So,
I think because he called me something like really close, and then I had to correct him.
That is awesome. Correcting Dr. Phil on his show, that is a bold move, sir.
Wow, and me and DP are close now, so hopefully we can get him on the show. I think he does like Rogan's podcast.
That was his college nickname, DP.
DP.
Oh man.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
You got to give one of those for Dr. Phil.
100%.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk 2023 NFL futures. I think it's just
hold on, Sean. Before we start,
yeah.
Do we want to discuss what hhappened?
Have you guys done a wrap-up show yet for the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah,
you did. Okay,
Sean
immediately after had the shades on.
Postpartum.
Pour the emotion. He's moved on. But but if you're listening to the podcast, this would have happened in the past. But do we want to quickly touch for the YouTube crowd on the NASCAR sharpness?
Oh yes.
Or do we want to? Essentially, we went to Circa last night. Shout out to Hoops Peterson doing some VSiN spot over there.
And Derek too. We have a won't reveal it yet, but we're gonna be doing a contest with Derek. So
we go down there. We're like we had one mission. The Circa was the one place we knew we were gonna be able to get down at the best price for our NASCAR futures. So go up to the window. Sean's finagling with signing up for the app. Me, like a true boomer, I'm cash only, baby. So I go up to the kiosk. I want to bet Cody Ware. Yes. 1,500 to 1. Try to do it on the kiosk. They try to limit me to $1,000 payout. I'm like, this is not what I'm here for. We've been through this, people. We
want to bet $100 to win $150 grand if Cody Ware wins Daytona 500.
Let's go.
That's gambling. That's the way you get it right. Anyway. So I go up to the window, I put the bet down, and of course there's that pause where it's waiting for the approval, and I'm like, I make the bet, I get my ticket, 100 to win 150,000. It's in my pocket right now, life-changing money. Well, what do I see? The board immediately drops to 1,000 to 1. Sharp
so then
I got
in 100 to win 100,000, and then after that they moved it to 500 to 1. So
wow.
We single-handedly
the NASCAR steam.
We single-handedly moved the line from 1,500 to 1 to 500 to 1 just on our two $100
Probably
bets.
the only two bets on those.
Yes. And then we also Cody LaJoie at 80 to 1.
Shout out to the NASCAR Gambling
That's
Podcast,
awesome.
Daytona 500. All right, let's talk. You were saying, Sean, you were about to talk about how we're going to
high-level look at the Super Bowl odds as they are available right now.
Got it. Buy, sell?
Yes.
Instant reaction, bottom to the top as we
Let's
go. And welcome to the program. You have to embrace Houston.
I love
They're
all
an
of it.
adopted child, but we still love them. Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals at 200 to 1. Obviously, both teams have quarterback question marks. I would say this. It is interesting with the idea of Kyler that this could possibly be in the same realm as Houston.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not buying either of them.
Jonathan Gannon doesn't do much.
No.
Either. Does not move the needle.
Well,
DeMeco Ryans does a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, DeMeco Ryans I like.
Plus a Bryce Young, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could talk yourself into that. I think.
Stop it, Sean. I have written in my notes right here. Do not
don't
fall in love with the
Texans. I mean, of these teams, I could talk myself into the Texans more than the Cardinals. But again, I think neither of these are a bye team. But at 200-1, yeah,
no.
How does it? You get Bryce Young in there.
I trust Davis Mills more than Kyler Murray, frankly.
That's true. Ooh. And Kyler, well, and an injured Kyler that needs to put in the work in the offseason. I mean,
is he going to? Or is he going to be doing this with the game?
Yeah,
guys, did you see that reaction with Gannon? That looked so organic.
In February.
Best buddies. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've heard stuff that he's not going to be back until into the season. So
yeah, and if there is any like, hey, you can increase your, or like, hey, if you put in the extra hours rehabbing, you can get to the field sooner. Like that's not going to be Kyler. Come
on. Do we have intel on Call of Duty?
No.
Is there a new one coming out this summer?
I'm sure there's gotta be
like a firmware update that he's just going to be downloading for 8 hours a day.
Dude, he's got the same work ethic as my 11-year-old daughter. She's got like 5 minutes of rehab, like little exercises she's supposed to do every day. Never does it.
Big volleyball tournament.
That's Jesus.
Very exciting.
I'm getting angrier and angrier.
Is there lines on that available?
Here's the line. If you've never seen how many volleyball courts they can pack into a fucking room.
Over.
All right, so we're neither of us are buying this.
No,
right? Sean, you didn't even find a way to say maybe the Texans. Nope. I didn't personally.
Jared, nothing right.
here. Right? I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet those two.
Colts, another team that might have a young quarterback. Sounds like Irsay is committing to that. Colts plus 150-1. To me, another one. No chance. Not interested. I don't love the coaching hire for a team that's not going to have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Indianapolis Colts, I guess you could say their path to win the division. Maybe they, I mean, 150-1. Well, there's just too many questions at quarterback.
That's the argument. Is like, hey,
are they going to go get a quarterback?
Now, maybe this is. It seems like they're going to draft one, right? But at this point in time, maybe they end up getting a Derek Carr, and they have some pieces around him.
What about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. Now we're talking, because if you bring in a veteran quarterback with this Indianapolis Colts team,
that's more like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And Shane Steichen, who I do like as a head coach.
Sure. He's going to get an opportunity to spread his wings. Fly.
I mean, again, this 150-1, I think, is under the assumption they're going to draft a rookie quarterback, probably start him pretty early on. But to your point, if we get a Lamar Jackson, if we get a Derek Carr, Colts at 150-1's kind of.
There's so many market-moving quarterbacks available, and again, these numbers, we don't know where these guys are going to go. But if we can get ahead of it.
This division especially, right? You have the Titans could have a new quarterback. Yep. Colts and Texans almost certainly will. Jags seem happy.
I think the Jags
with
are
Goldilocks. Maybe Sean's going to have to walk that back like the Tua stuff from this season.
I briefly walked the Tua back, but
what
I
do you
still
mean
feel like
briefly walked it
no,
back?
I said he was playing well. I'm not going to say he was playing
horrible.
horrible.
Tua stand for half the season. I don't know, maybe ironically, but
I was leaning into it, but
so we're passing on the Colts.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I could see them. They are a quarterback away. They
really
are.
So you want to take a little shot on the Colts?
Should we just mark it in pencil?
I'm gonna mark. I'm gonna go
because that number moves significantly if they go get a big time quarterback.
I'm with Jared. I think they're a dark horse candidate for a veteran quarterback, and I'm gonna
Irsay's a gunslinger, man. He'll open up the wallet for one of those guys.
Oh yeah, he opens up the wallet for a number of. Well, and it's not even a wallet; it's a briefcase full of cash, according to the arrest report.
It's basically a
portfolio. We're getting down slightly on the Colts here.
Yeah.
Well, the angle too, like the fact that they're not far off from being the second favorite in their division, and you can get these long odds. I don't hate it. Speaking of teams I do hate, shout out to the Chicago Bears, 80-1. All right, as much as I am not a Justin Fields guy, I probably like Justin Fields as much as anyone in this draft. And that division is another one that there seems to be some implied variance that we should be looking to take advantage of with Aaron Rodgers maybe walking out the door.
Totally agree.
And God damn it, Sean. Are the Bears a decent value at 80-1?
Yeah, because Justin Fields has shown flashes of
Being
really
Jalen
elite
Hurts.
level.
And you know what? Justin Fields would have thrown that Hail Mary at the end of the game a little further than 50 yards.
Ryan.
He slipped, right?
Ryan, these are just clown takes.
What do you mean? I watched it. He threw it 50 yards. That's not an NFL
Kelsey
quarterback.
stepped on him.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey Kadarius Stoney could throw it further than 50 yards.
Well, good for Kadarius.
He can
Toney,
return
right?
a punt 50 yards. We know that.
He's a good player. That's why he's not on the Giants anymore.
If he's on the field. Anyway, so are we
I'm taking a small sprinkle
I'll
on the
mark
Bears.
the Bears. Jared,
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Because I honestly think there's an opportunity for them to go draft a quarterback, and I could see that playing out too.
Well, and here's the thing. If you look at
They might bail on Fields.
the Bears compared to the Colts, I certainly like the Colts better when you factor in the 70 point
better
price
offensive
difference.
line, better defense.
Bears have a lot of money, most cap space.
No, I'm going to take a small sprinkle on the Bears.
Just from that perspective, their price will go down. So I guess if you like them, definitely bet them.
I like the Lions in the North next year, and we'll get to them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's the team in the North that I would be upside sitting on.
How's that real estate on Jared Goff Island? You having
So it's looking pretty good.
put bars up on the
I
windows?
mean, you want to talk about someone who might be in a dark horse candidate for a quarterback? You could talk about the Detroit Lions. What if Aaron Rodgers in the ultimate heel move?
That would
He would
be the
love
ultimate
those.
heel move.
He would love those receivers. He would love playing in a dome.
Ben Johnson.
He's an ultimate hipster. He's talking about revitalizing the city of Detroit.
Little Temptations, Motown.
Him
Stop
going to
it.
the Lions would be great.
Ben Johnson came back to coach Jared Goff another year. So I don't know. That seems crazy to me too. But all right, we got a little bit. All right, so we got two teams now. So it sounds like we all. Although I did predict 3-14 for the Bears, but I am bullish on them this season. All right, Titans, Falcons, both 75-1. Hilarious that they have all the common threads. Arthur Smith obviously was the Titans OC, now the Falcons head coach.
Love that.
Seemed to run a similar style, big bruising receivers with a running game. You don't know if Tannehill is going to be the quarterback of either team. And you don't these are two teams that I think, like, to me, that what stands out, and I'll throw it to you, Jared, but the Titans to me stand out as a team that always well coached, and for them to be the second long shot in their division all the way down here at the bottom of the board. I mean, we've talked about 3 AFC South teams already.
That's
and
wild.
we've only listed 6 teams. But yeah, to me, Sean, mark that frame and 8. Give me the Titans. Obviously, we're Vrabel guys. He's willing to cut off his dick. Jared, are you in on the Falcons too?
No, the Falcons I think is a bridge too far. Titans, I think the overall girth of what they are as a franchise.
Well done.
Is unmistakable.
Vrabel,
Fantastic.
Vrabel has great pedigree. You
Yeah.
still have Derrick Henry.
Yep.
You still have some talent on the defense.
Defense played better this year, and I mean, you know what, Malik Willis was,
you want
limping
to talk
his
about a
way
guy
through that end of the season.
I don't have the data, but I also think they were one of the most injured teams this year, and so you're going to see that. I mean, that defense performed even with all the injuries.
Yeah.
They were unfortunate in close game scenarios too. I think we're gonna be circling them as a regression team.
And I think they could save some money, cut Tannehill, and make a move at quarterback too. I think both of those teams actually.
Jimmy G.
Yeah,
our quarterback.
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you could put Aaron Rodgers.
Mike Vrabel's a Belichick
If you
guy.
put
They love
Rodgers
Jimmy
on
G.
the Titans, they're a Super Bowl.
Oh my God. If you're Aaron Rodgers, are the Titans like a sneak? He gets them out. The Packers get them out of the
AFC.
conference.
Leave the division. Yeah, exactly. Leave the conference.
Easy division.
100%.
And?
Absolutely.
All right. I was going to stay away, but this is too tempting.
The
Maybe
Titans are a bye team.
Someone can correct me, but I believe there is a conspiracy theory museum in Nashville as well.
Aaron would do well in Nashville.
Yeah.
All the country music singers, he'd love that.
Yeah, the Nick
does
Cage
seem to have a thing for
the
it.
Nick Cage transformation. He did some country music spots. It really would be full meta.
Well, he's got the long hair now. I can see him with an acoustic guitar.
Nice cowboy hat.
Love
or something.
that. Oh yeah, love that.
Just getting some studio time with his receivers. Yeah, I'm also. I know we didn't talk much about it, but I also. I'm kind of a sucker for this Falcons team. I'm going to say it again.
I do like Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith has a plan. He knows what he's trying to do, and I know how much we love to clown on Kyle Pitts, but he will get a healthy Kyle Pitts back. Drake London looked like a dude.
Yeah, he did.
And Ritter, we're going to be probably saying Ritter's the class of the class. I think he's at least got a chance to do it.
No, I'm out on the Falcons.
Is he going to be the best quarterback in that division?
Well, I guess he does have that going for him.
That's it's another.
Who's quarterbacking the Saints?
Yeah.
Who's quarterbacking the Panthers? Who's quarterbacking the Bucs next year?
I know they're all questions.
It's a South division. The South divisions. We're just talking about all their teams here early. Sean, you know what? Mark that one for me as well. All right.
I could see upside with that number. I could.
Again, it just seems like with the way that there isn't much of a ceiling in that division.
Yeah.
All right. 70-1. We have the Commanders. We have the Seahawks. Well, honestly, both of these teams kind of stand out from the fact that they weren't trash last year, but I think they also have the quarterback. I mean, same theme, quarterback question. Jared, either of these teams attractive to you?
Regression on Geno, right?
Oh,
like
I said
it's as good as it gets for him.
I said he may win comeback player of the year back-to-back years because he fell apart in the second half of the season. Like, he was really bad. I'm out on both these teams.
Washington they got a mess behind the scenes too that they're going to be dealing with.
New
all
ownership.
Yeah, that's a mess.
And they're both like not horrible teams, but they're both in super competitive divisions.
Rivera and Carroll don't wow me in terms of reinventing the wheel. With things.
You know,
I disagree
to
with
Pete Carroll's
your statement.
credit, I think he got the most out of what he had last year, but
absolutely.
I still don't think they're going to be there.
But that's the ceiling for them is you find a way to sneak into the playoffs and then you get blasted in the wild card round by a team that can actually defend.
And honestly, but like from the perspective of, do I see them as maybe the second best team in their division, possibly with the Rams cratering again? Yeah,
the Rams are. Oh my goodness.
And Pete Carroll's a great coach.
He is.
But I can't.
I don't see them raising the bar from like that.
You nailed it. Their ceiling is like
what we saw
scrappy
last
team
year.
that gets into the playoffs and gets blasted in the first round. All right, 60-1. Bucks and Sean, you're just officially out on those two teams.
Yes.
Well. Bucks and New England Patriots, 60-1. Oh my!
Wheel,
How far have we come
Bill
in the
O'Brien.
Bill Belichick era, where Bill Belichick's 60-1 to win the Super Bowl? It's
Nobody
crazy.
believes in him.
I want nothing to do with the Patriots.
All right,
Nothing to do with the Patriots and the Bucks. I mean, I feel like this should be
I'm out of it.
100-1.
Todd Bowles?
No.
With a new quarterback?
No, Kyle
Get
Trask.
out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like even if Brady comes back, what is this? What are
They're
they
selling Brady's butt sand. He ain't coming back.
That's true.
True.
Yes, that was
That's it. You can't come back from that.
Imagine buying Brady butt sand and then he comes back.
It's worth nothing.
And all of a sudden
Fuck
your butt sand's worth nothing. I'm out on both teams, even at 60-1.
Yeah, I agree. So
We're not going to give any credit to the ultimate next level coaching move of having no offensive coordinator for a full season to just completely bottom out your value.
Not checkers.
And then you hire Bill O'Brien, a guy who has been a successful offensive coordinator in the past. Remember, he got Christian Hackenberg to the NFL.
It's true.
We never forget
That
that.
should be on his tombstone. That's his greatest accomplishment.
It's never going to get any better than that.
No.
Do you believe in Mac Jones anymore?
McCorkle, man, they just seem so flawed offensively.
I can move off.
Yeah.
I do think that, and so Easy's throwing this out in the chat, but pencil in a Bucks worst record type bet
100%.
next year. This is crazy to me that they're sitting above this many teams in the odds. All right, 55-1 Steelers and Panthers. Obviously, we love ourselves. Mike Tomlin, Sean, big Frank Reich guy. These are two teams that you want to be optimistic about. I think maybe Pittsburgh a little bit ahead of Carolina because they have the quarterback. And I think Frank Reich here getting a little bit overrated. Either one of these teams, Sean.
No, I mean, the Panthers, I could see you talk yourself into, hey, maybe they're actually in the mix for a veteran quarterback and their division is very winnable. But for me, the Steelers, like, you know, we saw T.J. Watt. Like, the dude is right up there as one of the best players in the NFL. Tomlin, very good coach. They have some talent. Trubisky or Kenny Pickett makes, any sort of decent leap from year one to year two.
They're fourth in their division.
Freshman to sophomore year, your hands get bigger, too.
Yes, exactly.
No, Kenny was fantastic last year.
I
love him.
And, you know, when they had T.J. Watt on the field, they won a bunch of games.
Health is obviously huge with them, and Tomlin, I think, is one of the more continuously underrated coaches in the NFL.
I'll take a little taste of the Steelers here.
I'm working here.
He's so dialed in. Panthers, I want nothing part.
Yeah, Reich, I think his and the quarterback questions there just scare me.
And maybe if you get some inside info, or you're thinking, maybe.
I could see them because, Tepper's got deep pockets. I could see them being very aggressive.
But Frank Reich will have also pitched a long plan. Like, this isn't about
100%.
quick fixes. So I think even for that reason, it's like the fact that they're second favorite in their division compared to the Steelers being last in their division.
Way more upside with Pittsburgh because Baltimore might lose, Lamar gone. And you just see the rest of that division
Cleveland,
with the Browns.
Watson.
Don't love that.
Okay, we got to see him be a quarterback.
And then the Bengals are going to be good, obviously. Because
they start slow every year.
They do. Like. I know. I think upside with Pittsburgh makes a lot of sense. I'd buy Pittsburgh.
So, Sean, we're in on the Steelers again
next
year
already.
Already. Yeah. We loved it last year at 10-1 to win the division. Wonder what it will be this year. 55-1 feels like a buy. All right. We got 50-1. The Saints, they stand alone there. I don't. Why are they so hot? What about, unless we've learned that they're going to free Jameis. And we still haven't learned why Jameis is in prison.
Healthy,
but why, what are we doing here? Dennis Allen is Dennis Allen.
None of this is appealing. Again, I guess if I'm selling the Saints, but if you're buying, I guess you're just talking yourself into them winning that division. But even that, like, they just don't have, they're just not a top NFC team, and it's tough to imagine them in a scenario where they become one. So.
I like Atlanta more than New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, and honestly,
the number's so much more favorable.
As we're talking this out, I'm liking Atlanta more and more. Yeah. Sean, might be in pain.
You're already in on the Falcons.
I wasn't until this little conversation because again, you cap the rest of the teams in that division.
Yeah.
Who is running away with that division?
No one.
No.
All right, so the Saints, I'm even putting them on clearance. I want to move that quickly.
Blue light special.
Yeah. All right, Vikings 45-1. Strangely similar to the Saints, but a much easier path to postseason. You still have Kirk Cousins, I assume. You still have a talented roster that I think is going to get, more and more thin at the top as they continue to pay people.
This is funny, though, because they did go – again, everyone thought the Vikings sucked, and they proved it in the playoffs. But they were 13-4 in the regular season. Yeah. And it's crazy that they're 45-1 to win it all when they went 13-4.
Upside. Also, Brian Flores, new DC. Like that. Can't get any worse than Ed Donatel.
And Brian Flores is a true.
Very smart.
He's a legit dog. So
if that defense improves.
I would rather bet on hell freezing over than Kirk Cousins winning the Super Bowl. It just
bet on him to win the division. What's that?
Maybe that's the sneaky.
That's the number.
Don't overlook the idea that the NFL will not be giving Brian Flores any additional assistance, considering the current legal situation.
That's fair.
And
if you're suing
conspiracy theory, maybe the balloons flying over here.
And if Brian Flores hated fucking Tua, what's he gonna think about Kirk Cousins?
Rocking the chains.
What kind of locker room situation might we have? I'm out on the Vikings.
Even at the price.
Vikings.
I'm not buying.
All right. So, and also, right, we already have it circled in pen, but all-time regression team. So Vikings to show up as a good team. Like maybe they're a 9-win team that only wins 6 games because the regression falls the other way. All right. 40-1. Browns and Raiders.
The Raiders should be 100-1.
Why are they getting so much love?
They're basically
I think just because
like
of
they
the
already have Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Yeah,
it's like half-baked.
It's like splitting the difference.
Yeah.
Probably if Rodgers does land in Las Vegas, it moves to 25-1, maybe
somewhere. Cut it in half and then maybe double it if he doesn't.
And then if they don't and they're starting like Stidham, I think this probably goes 80-1, right?
Oh, then they're like Colts
100.
level. Yeah.
Either way, I want no part of them or Deshaun Watson.
No.
I mean,
zero part of that.
Even though Cleveland has talent around him, that was just such a horrible move.
How many years do we have to see the same thing though? With
that division is so tough too.
Yeah,
like you have to have balls of steel to win in that division every year. And I don't see. I mean, we know Deshaun Watson other things with that area, but I wouldn't deal with him having a good AFC North.
No, and he looked super rusty. And maybe he's better, but I don't think.
When you were saying,
you need like an MVP performance from him.
Yeah, when you were saying he had balls of steel, I thought, he could win the division then. No, it's been reported by multiple outlets that he does have balls of steel. All right, I'm not in. You can't be in on the Browns.
No.
And actually, I forgot my Giants also 40-1.
That's one I would look at.
Completely out on the Giants.
Well,
until they get a quarterback,
because I think that's if they get a quarterback. Imagine if you get Derek Carr with Brian Dable. No,
Ryan, you in on the Derek Carr?
What about Lamar Jackson with Brian?
Ryan would love Lamar Jackson.
Why do I need Lamar Jackson when I have Vanilla Vic, baby? Dan Jones, they're gonna re-sign him. That was year one of the offense. You 6'5". I mean, he's basically
go get a receiver.
He's Cam Newton mixed with Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson out there, and yeah, they're going to get a receiver.
Long-term deal's okay with you? 5 years?
Well, I think you're going to see him get signed to something sub $40 million, and by the end of this contract, this year of signing quarterbacks, he's going to be the 12th, 13th highest paid quarterback. So when I say that out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. And so, yeah, I do think he's going to get 3 to 5 years.
I love that staff, though. Honestly, I don't know if there's a better staff in the NFL.
All back.
That is
Ryan,
like
are you in on the Giants?
Synergy, right
Joe,
there.
well, I wish the price was better. Obviously, I'm in. Joe Shane was a part of that Bills front office that went out and got Diggs for Josh Allen. They understand the need. But as Joe Shane has said, they are not going to shop hungry. I do think they, of course I'm buying.
They've got money, too, to spend, right?
Third most. So some say that's a good.
That's
thing.
a luxury. They've got some luxury items to buy.
Well,
walking the streets here at Wynn, you see all those nice high-end shops. Go pick out a nice. Yeah, exactly. Gucci.
Walked into one. The $300 bathing suit. Get the fuck out of here.
Is that for you, Ryan?
No, it was not for me. They do have to re-sign Andrew Thomas to a long-term deal. Dexter Lawrence.
They need to do. They definitely need to upgrade the O-line.
I think you're going to see them re-sign a number of their own players with their money, and
their defensive line's fantastic though. Secondary, obviously, you lose Bradbury, and they're a little weaker back there, but I think they got better down the stretch. And
Bradbury on record as wanting to return to the Giants now that dickhead Joe Judge is gone.
I see that.
He said his experience in Philly
I think there's
was
a lot of upside
was not a
with the
positive
Giants,
one.
because I do think they have one of the most underrated coach of the year.
When did he say that?
Oh,
You're just
I'm just speculating. Yeah. All right. Next up,
coach of the year. Although he was 5-1 in the division.
Oh, stop it.
He made chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, when I still
it was
think
good chicken salad. Too.
I still think there's a lot of chicken shit left on the roster. So
Well,
I'm not buying the New York Giants.
So many parallels to that first year with Sirianni. Sean doesn't want to admit it. All right. The difference is the Giants have a quarterback that can throw the ball further than 50 yards down the field.
Are you talking shit? I thought we settled this on the field 3 times this season.
Sean, the season's over. Let's look forward. Let's not get caught staring in the rearview mirror. 35-1, the Los Angeles Rams. Who is making this fucking price? Is this
Zero
is this Baker?
Interest.
Is Baker or Stafford? What do you think?
They don't have a first-round pick, I think, until the next millennium.
Yeah, the Rams make no sense. I mean, I think Stafford is saying that right now that he's playing, but there's a chance Stafford and Aaron Donald decide to retire. They show up at camp. He retweaks his neck. Jalen Ramsey rumored to be traded because they just need to rebuild the roster.
Window's closed for LA.
Yeah.
No, that window
They got it.
Shut.
And they had the exact construction that you need. Studs up front, quarterback that's got the veteran savvy, and a couple of good receivers, Odell on the outside, and then bang, window closes.
Yeah, I mean, they went all in. Yep. They hit, and now they got to pay the piper.
Yep.
This is crazy. It's 35.
This is like the dude who hits the jackpot but loses all the money before he gets the withdrawal.
Or he buys.
So he's like, fuck.
He hits something.
He's waiting for the withdrawal, and then he hits the cancel withdrawal button because he needs the.
It's like on the old offshores where it's like request.
Yeah.
Whatever the
they
Western
string it out
Union.
for weeks. We need your ID, your birth certificate. We need your utility bill from 2017.
The Western Union check's going to come in 6 weeks. Oh, wait. I still want to play a little bit. I better cancel so I can get the money back in my account. No one's on those.
Auto sell on the Rams. All right, we got a block at 30-1. Lions, Dolphins, Packers, Broncos. So obviously, Packers, it does seem like this almost feels like a fair price, even if Aaron Rodgers is there. If I'm being honest, based on the way that they played, so
they just haven't shown any ability to win the playoffs.
No upside.
Yeah.
Any game or any of these stand out to you? To me,
Lions.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I mean,
you have to.
To me, for the Lions, I get it, but
lost to Staley.
Lions have to walk before they can run. We have to see this Lions team
win
a playoff game.
Well, they
get in the playoff
machine.
Yeah, they really are good ATS, but they have to get in the playoffs. They have to win a playoff game. There's so much history with this team of just being cursed and not
winning. I wish there was an ATS win total we could bet.
Yeah.
Instead of just win totals against the number win total. That would be an over for the Lions.
Why? Yeah, we need that. Although if they're going to start getting a little bit more respect and they're laying points instead of catching points.
They're in the top half. I mean, how many times you guys been doing this podcast over the years?
Zero.
You waited this long to get to the Lions.
Zero.
This is why he should have won Coach of the Year. Go, hey, I got the Detroit Lions in the top 12 for Super Bowl future odds.
Wow.
That should be his Coach of the Year resume right there.
It's fair.
That being said,
I'm not on any of these teams.
Dolphins
at
are
the price.
a fade. I think the Dolphins are a fade too.
Dolphins feel like a fade.
Yeah.
Broncos, are you kidding me?
No.
Russell Wilson?
The stench is still there.
I just don't. I mean, Sean Payton fixing everything.
Not in the first year.
Even if he does, I still don't understand how they would get it.
Russ is on the back nine. He's on 17 right now. He's chipping out of the rough, and I don't know if he's going to find anywhere near the cup.
Sean Payton might be too. I mean, he did take the big deal from the big owner. Winning is maybe secondary.
And he was the second choice.
Yeah.
He was the sloppy seconds.
I mean, Lions did, they finished out super strong. They deserve a ton
mark
of
the
credit
Lions
for
for
the
me.
yeah, I'm on the Lions. Everyone else is.
I think you guys are just wanting to support them for what they've done. But
how can I go against my guy Jared? I mean, my name's Jared, for Christ's sake. He's arguably the best Jared in the NFL. Yeah, we went to Jared.
Ben Johnson unfortunately decided to stay, and he said he wanted to stay because they had unfinished business and because that offense is loaded. I mean, you've seen the Nuggets. Jameson Williams, 3 touches of the football and like 3 40-yard plus.
And didn't play a whole lot
plays. Yeah, they're loaded. Ben Johnson being back makes me optimistic. I also don't know if I want to see Dan Campbell be ready.
How good was Hutchinson in his rookie year, too?
Yeah.
Like, they've got a guy that can, and that's the recipe.
I mean, he can
get after
make
the
that
passer.
He can make that jump to like defensive player of the year
100%.
next
He was
year.
fantastic last year.
We did meet him in this studio, and the hand size was a problem then. I don't know if it's still a problem now, but he did have a great year. Hopefully, he has not reached his potential. The hands were strangely small compared to some.
That
of the
is
other
not
D-linemen.
something I would have expected.
Well, some of these D linemen, it's I feel like
they're not human.
Little child shaking their hand, and I mean not Aiden.
And you're not a small guy either.
Not a small guy. All right, and Sean's not a small guy either. Taller than Julian Edelman, we found out.
And we did find that out.
Love that.
So similar level of scrappiness, me and Julian.
Sure.
All right, 28-1 Jets and Jags.
How are the Jets 28-1?
I mean, again, this is them.
What?
This is them giving either Tom Brady
Terrible.
or Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, and I feel like we wake up tomorrow and Aaron Rodgers has signed with the Jets. The price is maybe 22.
It's not. It can't move. How many teams are in front of the Jets?
Yeah, even if they get some big name quarterback in the offseason, I mean, I get it. The roster's good. I fell victim to riding them at certain times, but man,
I mean, they do have the O-Roy and D-Roy, so the future is bright. But how can you bet? I mean, I've been a Jets fan for a gajillion years.
You need a quarterback.
You don't have a quarterback.
I mean, again, if you're in the no quarterback zone, we got to talk 50-1 and up.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. I don't.
He doesn't seem like a guy who would
follow in Brett Favre's footsteps.
Derek Carr, yes. Lamar Jackson, maybe. Aaron Rodgers, no.
As a Jets fan, who do you want them to sign, or what do you want them to do at quarterback?
To sign Aaron Rodgers, but he has to choose. Like, he has to want to go there. I don't see Aaron Rodgers ending his career with the Jets.
Jimmy G?
What do you think?
I could see Jimmy G.
What do you think's the most realistic scenario that you're rooting for?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, and again, not my favorite choice, but realistically speaking, in terms of a guy that can handle the New York pressure, has a bit of an emotional edge to him where he can kind of absorb a lot.
I think Lamar would be awesome on that
I
team,
agree.
especially with the running backs.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I'm not touching the Jets.
Not touching the Jets.
Not now.
Jags at 28-1.
Jags 28-1.
You can make a case for that. Because they're going to probably win the division, right?
They're going to be the biggest favorites to win their division. Maybe
so they're definitely
them or the
playoffs.
Niners, I think.
Yeah, I'm in on the Jags. Again, I thought, obviously Goldilocks struggled there early, but Doug P, again, kind of showed why he's a good head coach.
Fantastic.
And seemingly got a lot out of.
Goldilocks also was a generational talent, Sean.
They are loaded on offense.
You give him a full offseason. They're getting Calvin Ridley back.
Yep.
They seem like they're not afraid to spend money.
He applied for reinstatement. I don't know.
They have not granted it yet.
I'm assuming that they will.
It seems like the league's view on gambling has changed a little bit based on the number of advertisements they're running for gambling.
And this show and every other show.
So maybe they'll free Calvin Ridley.
Maybe he'll be like the poster child for responsible gambling in the future.
I mean, just a world where Jameis is still in jail, but Calvin Ridley is free. How can we live in that world? But Sean, mark the Jags for me too, just out of principle, because I think them being such a heavy favorite to win their division will cause people to realize the future's probably a good price. All right, and it is strange how many quarterback questions we have with teams up in this realm of odds: 22-1, Chargers, Ravens. Obviously, Chargers don't have the quarterback question marks unless you're one of these Herbert truthers that doesn't know if he's good. Ravens, you can't play the Ravens at this price because this price means Lamar's here.
Yeah, it's not factored in the big chance that he's not their quarterback. So I'm out on both these teams. Again, Chargers to me.
College coordinator got hired by the Ravens as well. Todd Monken from Georgia.
I like that move. I do. I like Kellen Moore, too, the new OC of the Chargers.
I don't hate it. I'm just saying the Chargers, to me, are like the Lions in that similar, I don't know if they were the stadium built on an Indian burial ground or whatever has caused the Chargers to just be perpetually cursed. But I got to see them win a playoff game before I can consider getting down on their future.
It's tough to bet a long term on a team where there's a verb about them sucking.
Charging.
Yes.
Literally, there's a verb.
I mean,
and that the way they collapsed in that playoff game, that stink hangs on to you, especially when you're bringing back the same coach. If I was the Chargers and I wasn't scared to pay out my coach, I would have brought in Shane Steichen. I think Shane Steichen could have been really good
would have been interesting.
with Herbert.
I mean, I think they've clearly made a change. Now, hopefully, it's been noted that Staley listens to the critics, and we saw this, I think, year 1 to year 2 with the decision making. And so you have to think he's listening to people shit all over his offense and talk about how suboptimal it is to have Justin Herbert's cannon for an arm and have him only throw the ball 5 yards down.
Kellen Moore, I think, is going to change things. He's pretty innovative.
Yeah. I mean,
roster's good.
Roster's fantastic. Offensive line should get healthy.
I'm not talking myself into the Chargers.
You know what? Just put in pencil, Sean. Just mark the Chargers for me.
Okay.
God damn it.
I'm in.
And by the way, shout out to the chat. They've been throwing stuff out. I saw Dylan earlier. He's like, he threw out a Steelers, Falcons, Giants to win the division parlay next year.
Ooh,
I like that.
Fun fact: I put $100 on that this year, and it paid out $70,000. I mean, it didn't pay out, but it would have paid out $70,000. So I will run it.
Why? What happened?
Well, all 3 teams didn't win their division, but I will run that back next year. All right, Dallas.
I like it.
Dallas Cowboys 14-1.
Sell.
What are we?
Jared knew that if he was a buy candidate, he could just walk himself out of the show.
Sell.
I mean,
at 14-1, get out of here.
All right, I'm going to tell a little anecdote.
What have they done to get noticeably better, or they're just keep getting
restructuring
older?
Zeke? He's still
he got
on
paid
the team.
$500,000 less this year.
He's
half nothing.
Tony Pollard, who you could argue was like one of their
big
more
injury in the offseason.
Dynamic playmakers on the offensive side.
Yeah, offensive line has regressed.
They're just getting older.
Terrible year for Zach Martin, his worst year of his career.
You can't keep mortgaging the future and have a future.
They should have signed Odell Beckham. That was all they needed.
That was it. That was the missing link.
We are in Vegas for the FSGA conference. Sean, shout out to the FSGA, and Michael Irvin is here. He's part of an ownership group of a startup. And I will tell you, there was a large room of people that applauded him when he finished speaking. I did not
applaud.
We did not applaud him.
No.
Not only that, the next person who was brought up on stage, I cheered very loudly for, just to make sure that Michael Irvin knew that we were against him. And shout out to Michael Irvin for making light of his current situation. Real.
Did he talk about it?
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm pitching this new social media thing. You can go on there and say whatever you want. They're not going to take you away and take you off the air. like me.
That was a wild
his
story, by the way.
I mean, talk about collecting the bag. They must be paying him a lot. He's whatever you want me to say. Sounds good. All right, Cowboys sell, right? Anything?
Cowboys are a stone cold sell.
Oh, also, we didn't even mention it yet, but Mike McCarthy is going to be calling plays this year. So got rid of Kellen Moore, who objectively the league thinks is a good offensive coordinator, for him to say, you know what we need? Me to call plays again.
I don't love that move.
Packers fans can remind you of how that goes. All right, 9-1. Couple stone cold favorites here. Eagles, second favorite in the NFC at 9-1. Bengals.
No one believes in them.
Bengals, third favorite in the AFC at 9-1. Are you going to run back your Eagles' future, even though it lost this year, with the final play being Jalen Hurts only being able to throw the Hail Mary 50 yards?
Yeah. I mean, this Eagles team is a young team. We do have 2 first-round picks.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman, very smart. And here's what I'll say about Rare Breed, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts. Every year he's played football, from high school to college to the pros. Each year he's made a considerable jump in how good he is in the passing game. Even with that shoulder injury, he came out and had an awesome game passing, obviously an awesome game running. I think he hasn't even hit his peak yet, and he was an MVP candidate. I think there's even another step he can take to move up. We're going to lose a couple guys, but nothing crazy, honestly. Howie Roseman's really good at restructuring and moving things around with the salary cap. We're running back. Maybe we lose Kelsey, but we already drafted Juergens last year. We have a guy in waiting. Defensive line should be good to go, and we're probably going to use that number 10 pick overall. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the best pass rusher available or the best cornerback available, because I don't know if we bring Bradbury back. But I think they are in a prime position to make another run here.
I agree. And I also think the way they handled what was a very difficult ending to the Super Bowl with a lot of class as an organization.
No 40-liners.
No, and you get a lot of shit. The Eagles fans gets a lot of shit, that fan base, but I think the organization handled it well. I really do. So I think that'll motivate them next year.
Yeah,
more
they're gonna
congratulations
have
about your daughter's quinceañera. Your children are getting. Look, for Eagles fans to be getting credit because one time they
Not
shut
the fans.
They shut the
organization,
fuck up, and they took a loss.
Took the high road.
Eagles fans perpetually have taken the not high road. So
Ryan, when have you guys even been near the road? It's been a while.
What's that?
The road of relevant games. Where are you guys at?
4 times. Are you 4 Super Bowl? How many? One.
We're not living in the past.
Jalen Hurts. And
the future is bright. If you're looking now, I know you don't like to look out the the rear view. You look like you like to look
up here.
You like to look through the windshield.
Side view.
Look through that windshield and tell me you don't see a bright future for the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's hard not to, and I'm not a big Eagles fan either. It's really hard not.
Yeah.
I see you know what I see? I see a team that has a quarterback with 0 Super Bowl wins, just like Dan Jones.
All right, there you go.
Are we buying the Bengals at all? They could easily have 2 Super Bowls at this point.
Yeah,
they're always there. I mean, honestly, I don't mind the Bengals, but I'll wait till they start like 2 and 3.
Agreed.
And then get in on their future price.
I think now that we're getting to the top of the market, these are not buys. These are teams that you just want to keep in your back pocket and watch and
keep
examine.
An eye on.
And then you wait for that inevitable dip at some point during the season.
Bengals do it every year.
Every year. And so, again, I wouldn't buy these teams at this offseason stage, but the Bengals, with Joe Burrow, if they improve that offensive line at all, very, very tough.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're a team that they make their runs in December and January.
Like
so
the Patriots.
You're going to have plenty of time to buy.
Plenty of time. And also, Lou Anarumo is, like,
he's a dog.
He's back.
I'm surprised he didn't get
they chose Gannon.
coaching.
They chose Gannon.
That was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice.
8-1 for the Niners. We don't know who the
That's insane to
quarterback
me. That's insane.
is going to be.
Great roster. No idea what's the most important position.
Great roster. Kyle Shanahan.
I do think it'll be one of the 2 guys that's on the roster now, either Lance or Purdy, but who knows which one if they're healthy. I think one of Lance is going to get another shot. You have to give Lance a legit shot.
And even as a guy who's made fun of Trey Lance a bunch, you gave up so much for him.
Exactly.
They're definitely going to give him.
He's played, 8 games in 2 years? You have to give him a chance to be the guy.
But at this price, this is insane.
Yeah,
8-1.
agreed.
Are you kidding me? And the wheels could very well come off Brock Purdy pretty quick.
You're going to get at least one opportunity at some point this season to get a better price than that, probably.
Yeah. Trey Lance could be great. Still, we're holding out hope for that one.
Oh, anything's possible, but 8-1, are you kidding me?
At the price, no. But yes, I think Lance could play better than a 50-1 quarterback.
Couldn't agree more. And I don't know their salary cap situation, but I can't imagine they're going to be flush with money this offseason. They've traded some of their picks, if you didn't know. All right, last two teams, Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs 6-1, Bills 7-1. It does seem like the Bills overpriced again.
Totally.
This is now we're going to be 12 months removed from Brian Dable leaving. Clearly, the brain of Josh Allen has been removed.
Unfortunately, they seem to be building building another almost dynasty of losing, much like the other Bills teams, where it's like they have these super talented teams, and even the old school Bills teams with Jim Kelly, they seemed more built for the cold weather than this current incarnation of the Buffalo Bills. Like they need a running back that can really ice a game. They need to, get to a place where Josh Allen doesn't feel like he's pressing and creating those inopportune turnovers. They need some bruisers up front. They need a better offensive line.
Wow.
I'm just saying, for a team that's 7-1, they have some holes.
Ton of holes.
I mean, and the Chiefs, it's hard to like pick them apart, but it's 6-1. Like there's no value there.
No value with either of those teams. Ken Dorsey, I do not trust at all.
No.
At all. And you look at Josh Allen, the upside's there, the downside's there as well. So you want to bet on a team at the top of the market with that much downside?
No way.
None. I would feel a little more. I don't bet on any team at the top half of the market anyways at this time of year, but I would feel a little more comfortable with the Chiefs than I would the Bills.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if I had to choose between these two at the price, I would
100%.
go Chiefs.
Yeah.
But again, 6-1.
Hold on, Sean. We still have we confirmed that the water in Kansas City cures a Super Bowl hangover? We don't know yet. We'll have to check in with
this
Alex
water
Kraus.
that we're drinking here, though, probably does.
Oh,
the spring.
Wynn metal can water is delicious. Sean,
out.
I'm not buying either one of these either. And honestly, as we talked about the top of the AFC, it makes me like the Chargers more.
Oh, my God, Ryan. You can't do it.
I mean, at some point, the Chargers have to eliminate, with that talent, the verbiage of their past.
They got to uncharge her. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it against the Jags.
You guys watch Ted Lasso?
Oh, yeah.
When they did the little, the ceremony to get rid of the spirits.
Yes.
Maybe the Chargers should
They
do
need
that.
that.
Oh, they definitely need something.
We have lit a candle in our studio before. Maybe we need another seance.
Nick Foles shrine. That was pretty effective.
So
there you go.
To recap, I marked the Bears, Titans, Falcons, Steelers, Giants, Lions, Jags, and Chargers as all interesting teams that you might want to look at buying right now. Sean, you marked the Colts, the Bears, the Titans, the Steelers. A lot of agreement here. The Jags and the shocker Eagles. And Jared, you said Colts, Titans, Steelers, Giants, Lions. I think we're aligned on the Lions.
Yeah.
Jags.
Yeah.
Chargers and Eagles.
Go Birds.
Yeah. So good look. I mean, it does seem like the Eagles have potential easy path into the postseason, according to Sean. So
no, I think it'll be it's the NFL.
Hey.
You can't take anything for granted.
All right, now
Jared,
we got to get to the window so I can put down one of these.
Jared, appreciate you coming on the show. It was awesome.
Blast. You
got to
guys
have
are
you
the
on more often. Make sure you follow Jared on Twitter at Jared Lee Smith, and check him out on Fox Sports Radio live on the line and VSiN live as well. And that'll do it for the show. Toss us a nice rating review. Going to be giving out some more gift card for some awesome reviews.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
And of course, you can follow me at Kramer Centric.
Kramer, let it ride. Awesome, dude.